What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadski, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And in today's video, of course, we have the new Blitz battle that has begun. So we just got done doing a 3-hour live stream, having a look at this event, and doing a bunch of grinding and stuff like that. For this event, though, a lot of people are going to have questions like, oh, I'm missing X unit. Can this unit work? Can this unit work? I know a lot of people are going to have questions. What you see here is we are using basically the full boost without Borsalino. Now, look, I don't have Legend Nami myself. The thing is if you have Usopp and Chopper Rev Recruits, you do not need Franky. You do not need Franky at all. What you can do is you can use Franky on stage 3, which gives you damage reduction. You tank the hit from York. When you enter stage 4, you're inflicted with like poison slots and all of that. You're not inflicted with those slots if you have above a certain HP threshold. So Franky is essentially used as a damage reduction effect. His offensive capabilities are not required. If you don't have Franky, it's not an issue if you have the Usopp and the Chopper. So yeah, Nami is really good here as well to deal with the gimmicks on stage 3. And then with the way that things kind of go, you can get her back when you reach the final stage. So having her to use multiple times per stage, per quest is very, very useful. So obviously, if you have the Borsalino, you kind of deal with the chain debuff on the final stage. But in this team scenario, like if we don't have Borsalino, for example, we are using Vivi and Rebecca for their super switch effect. Their super switch effect gives us a chain boundary ability, and then that partnered up with the supports that we have on this team, which allows to remove chain coefficient reduction, meaning that we don't have to worry about our chain being at a super low number. We're going to deal with that chain attack down, and that's not really going to be an issue from that point onwards. So essentially, if you have Usopp and Chopper, like this event becomes infinitely easier because you just deal with stage 4 with those characters alone, which is fantastic. And then if you don't have the legends, like if you have at least one of them, things are going to go really well for you. If you are missing all of the new legends, then you have to find some other unique ways in order to get through this content. Moving on to our secondary team of the video, this one does take quite a long time to beat, but essentially this one is like if you don't have if you don't have any of the legends, but you do have Usopp and Chopper, because as I said just before, Usopp and Chopper deal with everything on stage 4, so that helps out significantly. Now, we do have the Robin. Robin on this team is for when we reach the final stage. So when we reach the final stage, we're inflicted with despair and paralysis, which is normally what you would use Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji for. But because we're using the Psy Gear 5 instead of Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji, we don't have a way to get rid of that paralysis and despair. However, Nami's captain ability does deal with some of those gimmicks, and also with this Robin and some of the key supports on this team, we're able to get rid of all of that despair and all of that paralysis, whilst also dealing with the rest of the gimmicks. We're using Vivi and Rebecca once again. The reason why is because of their super switch, as mentioned before, and I do believe we have some supports on this team that are also dealing with that chain coefficient reduction. I think we are using that. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure that we are. So the way that we're doing this, and you can see we're taking quite a long time to get through this, is because we want to get the super switch ability when we reach the final stage for Vivi and Rebecca. So you want to leave stage 2 when Vivi and Rebecca have 2 switches remaining, where it says in 2. That's what you want to do. And by doing that, it means that when you reach the final stage, using their switch ability every single stage up until that point, then you'll get the super switch on stage 5. Now, stage 4, by the way, also has 2 different variations. You've got one variation with Kaku, who is a quick unit, and you have another variation with Rob Lucci, who is an int character. Now, they actually do slightly different things. Rob Lucci has 6 turns of damage threshold, which is what I believe Usopp gets rid of, and then the Kaku has 6 turns of attack down that he inflicts to you, which is what Chopper has. Now, some people may actually ask the question, I've got Usopp, but I don't have Chopper, or I don't have Chopper, but, or I don't have Usopp, whatever it is. The thing is if you stall one turn on stage 4, whatever gimmick you're inflicted with, whether it be the attack down or the damage threshold, if you stall one turn, the enemy will remove the attack down and give them self-damage threshold. Or on this stage here, I believe Lucci, he'll remove the damage threshold and give you the attack down. So it kind of allows you to tackle whatever gimmick you kind of can actually deal with, which is a very, very interesting way of doing that. I haven't seen them do that before, so it's kind of interesting that is actually capable of being used here. So of course, at this point here, we do have Vivi and Rebecca's super switch ability, which we will be capable of using on the final stage. Now, I do make a bit of an error here. I actually didn't realize that there is a gimmick on Kizaru's end. When we use the special of the Psy Gear 5 Luffy, he is going to react and make it so that if you attack him with a type slot, you do less damage. So what you want to do is use Luffy's special first, and then use Nami's special, so that you don't get like the bad slots. You want to make sure you have the tandem slots, which is what the Nami gives you, and then you can go ahead and do all the damage versus Borsalino. And then finally, this last team that you're looking at is my own personal team that I am using to grind this Blitz battle. Now, I believe I can make the team slightly faster. Like, I don't think I actually need to use the Franky special ability. I really don't. So I could probably get away with doing that. I am considering maybe putting on Mr. 3 support to give me damage reduction, and by doing so, it would mean that we don't have to use Franky's special for his damage reduction. I'm not too sure if that's going to enable it so that we don't get the poison slots on stage 4, just to make things a little bit faster, of course. But and Franky, as I mentioned, isn't really required for this. So if you actually have all 3 of the legends, you can use like a friend captain Luffy, and then have Nami be like a crewmate instead. So you actually have double Luffy, Kizaru, and Nami on the team. So again, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that is going to be the team that I think a lot of people are going to go for instead. Hopefully you enjoyed the video though. Good luck on your Blitz battle grind. Hopefully it goes well. And remember to get to at least 50,000 points to acquire the best reward, which I think 30,000 is where you get the tablet, and I think 50,000, I think you get some gems or whatever it is. Anyways, make sure to grind this. You get a ton of rewards by playing it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. On that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.